I'm a survivor. I will survive. I will survive. And I'm a firm believer. Will forever shine just to stay alive. That simple means it. Nobody can hold me apart. Nobody can change my energy. Nobody can hold me stick. I will not allow negativity. Nobody can hold me apart. Nobody can change my energy. Nobody can. Nobody can. Everybody show me some strength. No weakness. Show me a lion dog. Put it up. Put it up. Strength. No weakness. Show them who we are. Put it up. Put it up. Strength. No weakness. Show me a lion dog. Put it up. Everybody's strength. No weakness. Show them who we are. Not when you're old. Your enemies, they must tremble. Your enemies, they must tremble. Yo, not when you're old. Everything has to humble. Everything has to humble. I'ma go get up. I just go hard. I just go hard.
Hey, how do you spell appreciation?
Let's see, I think it's A-P-P-R.
Wait a minute, hold up.
We spell appreciation with a capital C.
For cold, hard cash. Ladies and gentlemen, we say thank you for playing Waggy T Virtual Bingo. And on Sunday, January 10th, 2021 from 6 p.m.
It's appreciation time.
Imagine you can win US $10,000. And hear this, tickets cost only $5. That's right, only $5 per ticket. That's how we show our appreciation. In Grenada, tickets are available at gotofet.com or numerous box offices island-wide. If you're overseas, tickets are only available at gotofet.com. So, what are you waiting for? Join the fun and excitement online.
Play Waggy T Virtual Bingo.
The new way to play bingo.
From our family to yours, Happy New Year.
Yeah. You gotta be firm in this time, son.
What's up, riders? Welcome to the ride. Welcome to Tuesday on the ride. Listen, all you pay attention, eh? Pay attention. We're in 2021. It's already Tuesday. It's already the 5th day of the month, right? February is a short month. March right after that. April, May, and then you know what happening already. Happy New Year, 2022. Time those sticking, dread. Time those sticking at all. So we don't want to waste it, eh? As I said, this year is a year to save, not save, but don't waste time. Don't waste time. Value every minute, every moment of your day. So we preaching for 2021. How you guys doing? Hey, who do I see first? Wendy C. Maguire. How you doing, Wendy C. Maguire? Welcome to the ride. Thank you for sharing. As you come in, go ahead and share the program and say, I share, guys. Hey, good night to Shirley Mark. How you doing, Shirley Mark? Thank you so much. Charlene Mark, sorry. Thank you so much, Charlene Mark, for jumping on. Hey, Rena. How you doing, Rena? Everyone from Ledig, Richmond, Union, by the pasture, by Amigo and them up there. The folks over there. Big up all yourself. Rena, thank you so much. I want you guys to keep safe over there in London because we've been in England. United Kingdom. We heard yesterday on the news that, boy, thing do nice. Well, thing do nice nowhere at all. Right now, the whole world turnover. I swear. Thing do nice, no way. Thing do safe, no way. But in London, they're going into their third lockdown. In England, they're going to their third lockdown, guys. The third lockdown. There is a new strand of COVID-19. When we finally thought we got over COVID-19, there is a new strand. In fact, there's two strands. There is an English strand that they call it, and then there is one, the South African strand. I don't know, Jed. I don't know. Enough to just send your mind crazy, right? But we ain't gonna dwell on that. We shall overcome. All right? We shall overcome. Yes, we're gonna survive this. This too shall pass. They could come with strands and whatever. We're getting over that. We're staying safe. We're staying healthy. Esther Matthew, thank you so much. Thank you so much for jumping on. Everybody share. Everybody share. I want everybody that's watching, every person that's watching right now, ride along, click that share button and say, I share. Every person that's watching Ride Along live right now, click click the share button and say I share. It don't costing you nothing. It don't costing you nothing. See, I have to get ready. I have to block my time. I have to put gas in the car. I have to put up lights. I have to sit here. We have to get guests. We have to do the hard work. Now, this time, it's for all little work. And it's not hard work. That share button right there, press that share button. Everybody do it right now and say I share. Everybody do it right now and say I share. Esther, Matthew, big up yourself. Thank you so much. I'll tell you guys why you want to share this program here today. I will tell you why you want to share this program here today. You're going to learn a story of a young man. He's from a village. We go establish that the village just now. So he's from a village in Grenada. This man is a family man. This man reminds me a lot about myself, but he'll tell his own story. This man is a family man. This man don't normally come on social media and talk about his situation. This man go through the legal way of doing things. This man is a family man. His wife and his only child. And this man felt compelled, guys. Compelled. Aisha, thank you so much, Esther. Thank you so much, Grenada Sunshine. Thank you so much, Andrea. This man today, his name is Ryan. We're going to meet him shortly. This man felt compelled today to come on this program. And he's not an internet person. He's not a social media person. He's not that type of person. He contacted us and we had no other recourse than to say, yes, let us talk, because that's the only way left. The only thing left for this man to do. So I want everybody to share this program if you want to hear Ryan's story. Because Ryan's story is not only Ryan's story. It's a story that every one of us could find ourselves in. He didn't ask to be in that situation. You go hear his story. I'm telling all of the pieces now, but you go learn about it. But he didn't ask to be in this situation. He didn't ask to be in this position. Right? It's a freaking sad story. I want everybody share. Everybody share. Everybody share. Doreen share. Rebecca share. Christine share. Bernard Gilbert share. Andrea Charles share. Everybody share. Doris Maureen Charles share. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because after you hear Ryan's story here tonight, you're going to realize why sometimes people just feel like they want to go jungle justice. And I don't promote that. I don't promote jungle justice. I always just say, let the law take its course, because it's there for a reason. But when this man called me on the phone, Jed, when this man called me on the phone the other day, good night to you, Pearl. When this man called me on the phone the other day and I hear this man cry on the phone, Jed, and this man is a strong man. This is a strong man. But the only reason why he was crying on the phone is because he had no other recourse. He couldn't do nothing else. Guys, share the program. Share the program. And Samuel, share it. I want everybody to see it. I want everybody to watch this program here tonight. I'm telling all you. Oh, here's my friend, Antoinette Amade Baptiste. Thank you so much. Kia, everybody share. Everybody shared. Everybody shared. Now listen. I don't want to preempt the man's story too much, But after you hear his story, you would understand why a lot of people sometimes resort to doing things that they don't normally would do. Let me introduce you to Ryan. Ryan, unmute your mic. Ryan, you there? No, I can't hear you. So do the thing, pull it out and push it back in there. And we're going to get to learn all about Ryan's story shortly. Ryan, you there?
Yeah, you hear
all right,
me?
I'm hearing you now, Ryan.
Okay.
Ryan,
thanks.
I know you're
right,
not
thanks.
an internet person. I know this is out of your
element. Yeah, social media is not my
You're
really.
out of your element right now. But I think it's necessary. I think it was necessary. Yeah. And Ryan, when you called me and you shared that story with me, boy, I had to say, we can't do nothing else than to bring this to the fore. Because I don't want you to do what you don't want to do. But we're talking far because but people don't know the story. So Ryan, introduce yourself a little bit to the audience, to the viewers right here on Ride Along, sir.
Okay. Well, my name is Ryan, as it says, Ryan Andrew to be precise. I moved from Grandance in 2009 to Monjalo, together with my wife and my only son. And at the time of my move to Monjalo, there were only a few neighbors. There were adjacent lot to my house that was vacant.
Right.
But in 2015, construction commenced on that vacant lot. I remember a gentleman coming from the Marion area,
Right.
and he met the owner of the property, and he asked him, he said, "What are you building there?"
Uh-huh.
And he said to the gentleman, "I'm building my workshop." And he said, "A workshop?"
Uh-huh.
He said, "How to be crazy?" He said,
Uh-huh.
"A workshop in the residential area?" He said, "Nah, man." He said, "You ought to be crazy."
So let's move meticulously slow. So this area that you're speaking about, Ryan, is a residential area. For
It's
folks
a
who don't
residential area.
understand the residential area versus a commercial area, that's where people live. It's not for
Yeah,
business. It's for residents, residential.
yeah,
Deanne,
yeah.
I understand the light situation. That's the best we could do with the light, Deanne. We're going to have to work with it. Please, don't worry about the light. Ryan light is the best light he could get right now. We tried. Listen to the story, forget about the light for now. Go ahead, Ryan.
Right. So he indicated to him, that this is an inappropriate place to put a workshop.
Right.
He proceeded to the next neighbor and he shared with him, the story that the gentleman just told him. They are familiar with each other because I think he is from Upper Monjalo, and previously I think that's where the gentleman did his business.
Right.
Well, at first, really and truly, it never bothered us. The gentleman has his workshop, that's his trade,
Uh-huh.
and we live opposite. But as the operation started
Uh-huh.
in 2015 or 2016, our son started complaining
Uh-huh.
a few months thereafter.
Right.
He cannot breathe, cannot breathe. And I said to him jokingly, I said, "What do you mean you cannot breathe?" I said, "You're talking to me, you cannot breathe." And he laughed. He said, "Daddy, I'm telling you, I don't understand."
Uh-huh.
Later
Ryan,
on that year,
hold on. Do you have a fan that's blowing?
yeah,
Yeah, the fan is affecting the audio. I want people
okay,
to hear it. I don't even want a distraction. I don't want them to hear nothing. I want them to hear the story. Go right
yeah,
ahead, Ryan.
right. So later on that year, he started complaining that he cannot breathe. And I said to him, "I mean, you're talking to me. You look normal. What do you mean you cannot breathe?" And we laughed. He said, "Daddy, you don't understand. You don't understand." And one night, there was a commercial on the television where an elephant was sitting on someone, either on a bed or on a couch. I believe it was a couch. And
Right.
he said to me, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy, that's how I feel sometimes."
Mm.
I said, "Really?" He said, "Yes, I'm telling you."
Mm.
And I took note of it. He continued to complain that he is feeling a tightness in his chest. And he continued with this can't breathe story.
Right.
But he looked normal, he go run around, play. In December 2016, he said to me, "Daddy, I find my heart is beating fast." get a telescope, put it in his ear, put it on my chest to hear my heartbeat, put it on his, and he said, my heart is beating fast. I listened. He lay on the couch. He fell asleep. I have a picture of him sleeping with a telescope in his ear, listening to his heartbeat. In 2017, his symptoms worsened. Now, we used to play a game every morning. Who get ready first? Start the car. And I noticed that he's starting to get slow. So whenever I lose, he will say to me, what happened? You're getting old or what? And we laugh. So the first time it happened, he went to the bathroom, stayed a long time. And I jokingly said to him, what happened? You're getting old. He looked at me, said nothing, went to the room, get dressed. I got dressed before him that day. And so it continued during the week until he remained in the bathroom for a considerably longer period of time than he would normally would. And I opened the shower curtain and I said, what happened? He looked at me, finished bathe. I went in, I showered. And then I got halfway dressed, went to his room and realized that he was lying on his bed with the wet towel on him. I said, son, we need to go. I said, what happened? The mother came in, she said, what happened to you? He said, I'm not feeling well. She said, what do you mean you're not feeling well? He said, mommy, I'm just tired. And I'm thinking, 10 years? Tired? Anyway, the symptoms worsened. He couldn't bathe himself.
And Dad, I know it's tough. Just like when we was having this first conversation, you
He
broke
couldn't
down
dress himself.
and I broke down because you know we're guy. Hold on 1 second, Brian. Let me just take a little breather. Because the worst thing that a parent could go through is what Ryan just explained in here. I remember my son when he was like about 5, 6 years old. He swallowed a candy and it stuck in his throat and he couldn't breathe. And I had to be there and just work him to try to get this thing out. And to see that, to see that is a parent's worst nightmare. So you went through a parent's worst nightmare, seeing your child getting weaker and weaker and weaker, can't even bathe himself. When you have the strength, Ryan, continue, because it's important that you share the story and the world hear it.
So before school that morning, we took him to our family doctor.
Yes.
And he said to us, he has severe case of bronchial congestion, meaning his air passage is clogged. He prescribed some medication. We brought him not home, but to grandaunt's. And the following day, he went to school, given the medication, he went to school. And maybe a week or two after, we end up by the family doctor again. Because he was still complaining, I cannot breathe. My chest is tight. So we brought him to the doctor again, before school. He looked at it, he looked at him, sounded him, he said, this is not clearing up. He said, that congestion is on his stomach. He said, tell me what happened. So I said to him, he said, because I know that is our family doctor. He said, I know him from a child, a baby. So I said to him, the only thing that happened is that we moved from grandaunt's to Manjaloon. And he said, and what happened? I honestly had no thought of anything else except the move
Right.
until a week or two after we bought him again. And when you look at him, he said, "Your child has full blown asthma." He said he would need to go on the puff. He said, "Tell me, something happened." He said, "Yes, you moved to Monjalu, but what happened?" And I said to him, I said, "Well, the only thing is there's a workshop on the opposite side."
Right.
He said, "But you have your answer." So he penned this letter to us. He gave us the medication and so, and he penned this letter to us that read in part. He says here, "I have known a child since February 2007, and in recent time he has developed asthma, which caused him to be short of breath, wheezing, and oftentimes associated with a temperature. One of the causes of asthma resulted from environmental pollution, dust, smoke, inhaled particles, chemicals, etc., especially if there is a family history of asthma, hay fever, or eczema." He said, he is in my office every 2 weeks in recent times. So I have asked his parents to investigate the condition around the school or home to try to explain the frequency of his attack. I took a copy and I gave it to the school to let them know what he's facing. In that year, the truancy officer visited him. He was missing school that often, and he was more than upset. He said to me, "A lady come to my class, called me, and started questioning me. The reason why I am missing school so often." He said, "I didn't do anything." He said, "When I walk back in class, the children thought I have done something wrong." So I called the Ministry of Education, truancy, and I called the school first. And they explained to me, yes, the truancy officer did visit, and they have the right to do so. But in that process, my son felt that he was interrogated.
Right.
So I felt compelled to have a conversation with the truancy officer, which I did. So I explained to her that my son has recently developed asthma.
Full-blown asthma.
I said to her, say it again?
Full-blown asthma.
Full-blown asthma.
Right.
Yeah, full-blown asthma. I said to her, every time that he missed school, we will give a note. I said, even when he's not feeling well, I'll try to have him in school. That continued. Continued for the rest of that year. I visited physical planning department and I inquired because my wife said when the operation started, she really don't believe that physical planning will approve a plan for him to put a workshop there. So we visited, the neighbor at the top went before me actually. And I, not knowing that he went, I also visited and I inquired. And they said, well, somebody just came to inquire also what is, the status of this workshop. But she said to me, the receptionist said to me, but we did not approve a plan for a workshop. And I said, what?
So let me recap and put this into perspective here. So you identified that the source of the problem that was getting your son sick was that workshop that was in close proximity to your house.
Very close proximity.
So the obvious thing, and I'm seeing the questions here, people asking, well, go to the physical planning or building or whoever is in charge of doing that or approving that type of things, and let them know that this man cannot be operating a workshop in this proximity of this area where people are living, especially if it's getting people in the neighborhood sick. So why did physical planning actually approve that?
I learned later, as the receptionist indicated, they have never approved a plan, a permit for a workshop. She said to me, they approve a dwelling house.
So the location where that place, where that workshop is, it was never approved to be a workshop.
Never.
It was supposed to be a dwelling house.
A dwelling house.
So he
What was
converted.
said to me, yes, what was said to me then, he made an application for a dwelling house, 2007.
I'm showing a picture on the screen right there. I'm showing a picture on the
Yeah.
screen. Give me a perspective look as to what shot is this? Where is this picture taken from?
This is taken from my balcony.
Okay.
That is from my balcony.
Right.
Yeah.
And
This
the
is from my
house
balcony.
and the picture and the house that we see in there, the kind of brown building that we see in there, is that the warehouse or the workshop?
No, the workshop is what you're seeing here. There's a galvanized with where the
Yeah.
fumes is coming from.
Right.
That's the workshop.
That's the workshop. Okay.
That's the
All right.
workshop. Yeah.
All right. So we get a perspective view on this. So let me
Yeah.
ask you, that's an easy fix now. That's an easy fix, I'm thinking, right? Because if physical planning did never approve for a workshop to be there, and now he's operating a workshop there, and you live there, then go to physical planning and have them move him. What's so hard about that?
Well, I have discovered after, because believe me, I have gone repeatedly, continuously to physical planning. Because as you allude, it's an easy fix. That's what I would think.
Right.
And they said to me, they had absolutely no clue that the gentleman have constructed on that premises. He tested a plan, it was approved, and they did not know that they had a building on the lot. Now, that was like 8 years after. And as explained to me by the physical planning representative then, the statute of limitation for action have expired.
Oh, so don't tell me now. So it's expired, so they can't they can't move him?
That is what I was told. That is what I was told. It have expired.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So
Go ahead.
now, when he continued and relentlessly, because as soon as physical planning get involved, his actions, his operation became more egregious. I will call the police.
Right.
And they will come morning, evening, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, nighttime, daytime. They would come. He said to them, nobody can stop me.
The owner of the establishment is telling
the owner of the establishment, the police, nobody cannot stop me. I then went to the fort and I said, I need to engage the commissioner of police. Surely enough, the receptionist said to me, whatever concern you have for him, you need to write it down and I'll take it to him. Surely enough, I did a letter, and a few days after, I called. He said to me, "You understand my plight,
Uh-huh.
but there are no law to stop this gentleman that the police can call upon." He says it's only physical planning
Mm-hmm.
and health and the environment. He said you can take him to civil court to get redressed, but the police is powerless. He said oftentimes when matters like that happened and we find it appropriate to take action, he said we don't normally get the necessary support from the departments.
Ryan, I want to go back a little bit there to your son and the health and wellness of your son and your family. Why all this back and forth and this and that and who can do this and who can do that and all kind of stupidness happening? How was your son progressing and dealing with the situation?
That's where it gets worse. My son, one evening, we asked him because, children 10 years, they want to be independent, and he's accustomed with his independence. So his mother asked him, he went to the bathroom with him, he said, "Mommy, I can bathe. I'm okay, I can bathe." So she remained with him a while. He bathed. He went to his room. GBN news started. I went in, I had a look at him. I see he was drying his skin. I went out and I started looking at the news. And I cannot tell you how long after, but my son came out from that room.
Wow.
He fell to the floor. "I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe."
What?
My wife rushed to him before I get there. And she puffed him once, twice, 3 times. He's on the floor. I'm holding his hand, and he's on the floor. And she puffed him and puffed him. And then I saw the tears from his eyes. And I knew then that he was alive. I picked him up, brought him to his room, stayed with him for a while until he fell asleep. Now, to tell you he fell asleep, I have a picture of my son sleeping, what he will call sleep. I bought some pillows. They were like 14 inches tall because my son couldn't lie down as other children. He will prop himself against the wall with the pillows to sleep. And that is routine. When that happened, the Wednesday, I visited the health minister in his constituency office. And I explained to him what I'm going through. And he said to me, of course, I was very emotional. He said to me, take your time. He said to me, I want you to go to someone in the health and the environment and let her know what you are going through. Surely enough, I went, I spoke to an individual. She said she's going to send a team to visit. Surely they did. Repeatedly, they visited, but that did not be the action of the gentleman. A matter of fact, it made him worse. I went to health, to physical planning. Health, physical planning. And I said to physical planning, after my experience, I said to them, please, whenever you are going to visit, please do not come with a vehicle that marks physical planning. And the gentleman said to me, why? I said, because I think that makes the gentleman angry. And I feel the brunt of it. I said, my family suffers. He laughed. I said, I'm serious. I said, please do not come with a marked vehicle, physical planning. He said, okay. I went back to health, back physical planning, and nothing changed.
I'm still here and still wondering and still thinking, why would something like that be allowed to happen in the first place? That is the first problem. The second problem that I'm having is the second question that I have is, what actually is he using that is getting people sick? And what about other people in the neighborhood? Was it affecting others, or was it
It
only
was.
just your son?
It was. Now, in the beginning of gentleman operation, now I used to be downstairs, high clothes sometimes. And when it becomes too much for me, I would leave, go up to the road, which is the main road, wait until he finish, and get back down and continue. Of course, I did not really and truly think of the danger then. And that was prior to my son, although he was complaining, but I didn't attribute his action to his illness.
Right.
And one day, to my trip from below the house, the neighbor at the top said to me, you're not frightened that you will get cancer? And I thought to myself,
The C word.
she said to me, I am not as close to you. He said, I'm above. But when I am near, it affects me so much. I could imagine you.
Oh shit.
And I thought of it. And I said, you know what? She's right. I said, she is right. Now, that continued, and I decided the police cannot help me. Health and the environment, physical planning. I said, let me go to the parliamentary representative.
Right. Right.
And I went to him. And I explained to him the situation. He said, what? He knows the area. He says, his area. And I said to him the problem I'm having. He said, but this cannot be. He said, why are they allowing him to continue this? On one of my visits to him, he said to me, we are enacting I can't remember the whole caption, but it's a garage act. And in sitting with him, he called a gentleman in. And the gentleman, he said to the gentleman, listen to this man's story. And I repeated the story. And when I was finished, the minister said, I want furniture workshop, to be included in the Garage Act.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yes,
Mm-hmm.
we are going somewhere. I said, we are going somewhere. Having the knowledge that there are no legislation in place, I said, good. But that did not stop the gentleman.
But with the
And it continued. I would contact the minister oftentimes. Let him know this is continuing. Let him know what I'm going through. And I ask, when are we going to have legislation enacted? And that goes unanswered. I call the Minister of Health every time I would call until I decide, after experiencing another barrage, I said, let me contact the ombudsman.
wow.
And I went to the ombudsman. And I gave my story. She said to me, we will investigate. But it continued.
Nothing happened. Nothing changed.
Nothing. I
Let me-
decided then
Mm-hmm.
to go to a lawyer, letting the gentleman know what is happening, how he's affecting us, although he's fully aware. But I wanted to introduce the legal action.
Right.
And surely enough, a letter was penned to him.
While you getting that together, let me just brief everyone who just started to watch. We're watching this story here with Ryan. Ryan exhausted every single opportunity that is humanly possible for him to get a situation rectified. The problem is he is in a residential area where there is a furniture workshop that is getting people sick. Not only is his son getting sick, but other people in that general area is getting freaking sick. Ryan just detailed just a little while ago, his son got so ill that he passed out. I mean, a 10-year-old, right? He got worse and worse and worse and worse. Gets worse than this. Ryan, go ahead with the legal aspect of things.
So I went to the lawyer, and she penned this letter for me. She said who acting on my behalf. And the letter goes like this. Our instructions in the capital matter are as follows. That you are our client's neighbor in respect of his dwelling house situated at Manjalo. That you are also a joiner by trade, and that you operate and own a joiner shop in the premises occupied by you. And it go on and on. He says that in the course of your said trade, you habitually sprayed sand furniture, which practice resulted in very strong fumes and large amount of dust escaping from your property into our clients' homes, which is a short distance away. That the result of these noxious fumes and dirt has been to severely affect our clients and his young son's health, such that for the past year and a half, our client's son has become increasingly asthmatic, prone to respiratory infection, and is forced to miss long periods of school due to his illness. The situation is now so chronic that our client's son is now unable to dress himself in the morning due to his frequent illness. That the fact that these illnesses are brought in by the unhealthy environment created by your action, it is documented and confirmed by medical reports of the client's doctor. That despite the repeated requests of you to cease these emissions or to contain them, you have failed or otherwise refused to do so, thereby resulting in the continued decline of our client's health and that of his young son. We therefore hereby demand that upon your immediate receipt of this letter, you do forthwith cease the practice of spraying and sanding furniture at your premises in such a manner as to cause any of further nuisance and inconvenience to our client or his household. Take notice that in the event of your failure to comply with this demand, we are instructed to apply High Court for injunction order restraining you from such conduct as the cause of so doing continues.
So after all that
Now-
was said, that letter was penned to him. Did that move him to change his behavior? Because he knows now that he's getting you and your family and the neighborhood sick. Did that change anything?
No, it made it worse. My neighbor said to me, he said, this gentleman waits until your family gets home to start his operation. And I said to him, you have to be kidding me. I said, you have to be joking. I said, you have to be joking. I said, he knows my son gets sick. He knows that he is affecting us. I said, you had to be kidding me. Surely enough, weeks later, I drove down to my home. The gentleman and his female companion was sitting in the garden. He did not hear the vehicle, but she did. And she said to him, they are here, or words to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you, he leapt from his seat as if someone had just thrown cold water on him. I went in, I packed. I called my neighbor and I said to him, I am sorry. You did indicate to me that he waits. I said, look at what happened this evening. He said, I'm telling you. He said, I am here during the day, most of the time, and I can tell you, this is what he does. He said, for the whole day. He is just walking up and down, doing nothing. As soon as 4:30, anytime thereafter, he would start. And I prove it. Anyway, to go on with the legal action, the first step, he wrote me back to his lawyer to say, our clients deny that a large amount of dust and very strong fumes escape into your client's home. As to the dust allegation, our client states the following. His machines and equipment are fitted with dust collectors, which gather the dust as he walks. Any dust which escapes the dust collector is immediately swept up and stored in bags for collection by person who required it. All cutting and sanding of wood is done inside our client's workshop. Dust does not escape our client's workshop.
I want you to stick a pin right there in what
As
you
to
were
the
saying.
fumes,
Hold on, Ryan. While you
uh-huh,
were saying that, and you're talking about the, I'm showing this video here, which totally contradict what was said. As you could see, and everyone could see the large amount of fumes that is escaping out into the atmosphere and is blowing out. And you were the first recipient, by the way. It's blowing, and it's very clear. You can see it. That
yes,
is that is not collecting into
yeah,
bags, and that is what is getting you,
yes,
your son, your family, and the rest of the neighborhood sick. This is it right here. Now, this camera footage are from your surveillance camera in your house,
yes,
looking into his
yes.
shop. So this
Well,
is
looking along the road,
right. Okay.
yeah,
This
yes.
contradicts what was said by his lawyer there. I don't want to skip
Well,
and cut. I don't want to skip
it
and
gets
cut.
worse thing
Go ahead. Go ahead.
because I also have pictures of him
Yes.
depositing sawdust further up in line with my house. A matter of fact, on one of the visits by physical planning, the gentleman said to him, and I overheard it. And by the way, let me tell you how that gentleman from physical planning visited. I went in to physical planning because you're always saying, "Hey, I'm coming." I have never known, right, when I'm there that he visit. I've never known him to visit. But I went to the department and I said, I need to speak to the gentleman. That I think I was on holiday that time. And I was quite relaxed. I said to myself, I'm not leaving here until I see that gentleman. And surely enough, I planted myself in a chair and I waited. He came out and he questioned and he motioned me inside. And I took up my phone and I scrolled to my son picture and I said to him, this is my son. I want you to look at his reaction when the gentleman is cutting wood. And let me tell you, that gets him moving. Because even myself was blown away by his reaction. I don't know what wood it is, but the smell of that wood severely affected my son. He started with his nose, got his rag, started blowing. And I showed the gentleman the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And when he looked at it, he said, no, 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 no. We have to go, we have to go, we have to go. He called one of his junior staff. He said, listen, we have to go to Anjalum. He said, where are you going? I said, I'm going and pick up my son. He said, well, it's either you get there before me or you meet me there. But I am going there. Surely enough, I got there before him. He came. He went inside. He had a discussion for half an hour. And I heard him say then, man, you have the bag. Why don't you use it? I did not hear the response. He left in a half an hour. He was leaving in a half an hour. And the gentleman called him back. He went inside. And he spent 4 additional minutes. When he left the building, he was sneezing.
Oh wow.
He was sneezing. I turned to my wife and I said, look at that. This man only spent 34 minutes and he's sneezing.
Wow.
He left. The Monday I called, no answer. called physical planning. And they said to me, the gentleman have proceeded on sick leave. I don't
So
know the nature of his illness.
the gentleman that went and speak to the guy in the shop end up getting sick
Mhm.
himself from physical. Oh Lord.
He left the building. I don't know the nature of his illness then, but he left the building. He was sneezing. The Monday when I called, I did not get him. It was revealed after that the gentleman have proceeded on sick leave.
He got sick.
I called him later on and he said, Mr. Andrew, I am sick. And I said,
Wow.
I wish him a speedy recovery. And I waited to speak to him again. I didn't go to physical planning. I went to Ministry of Health and the Environment. You know, when my son fell the first time, I said, you know what? I don't know asthma. I said, but I need a nebulizer. I ordered one. I knew nothing of it.
Mm-hmm.
I took it to my workplace. I inquired from my co-workers who child has asthma, if they have a nebulizer. One gentleman said, yeah, I use it. I know it is. Say it's simple. I say, yeah, it's simple, but this is life and death. I say, so I'm going to bring it for you and you're going to demonstrate to me how it is used. And surely enough, he showed me. It was simple. Never expected to use it.
Did your son happen to or
My
ever?
son came from the room. I don't know what he was doing in the room, but he came from the room and he fell to the floor.
Oh, wow.
And I put that nebulizer on him, and the smoke as let's keep going. And I remove it and I look, and again, I see the tears from his eyes, and he recovered.
Wow.
And I said to him, I lift him off the floor, I brought him to his room, and I looked at him in his eyes, and I said, son, I said, here what's going to happen. I said, prepare to do without a father. He looked at me, and I said, yes. I said, remember me whenever you have to make a decision. Just think what daddy will or what daddy will say. I say it will come to you.
Why were you telling him that? What was your plan next move?
Junior, I had my religious moment. This was my religious moment. I had made up my mind. I said to him, I said, son, he started crying. He cried. He said, Daddy, I don't want to go to jail. I said, son, this is not jail. I said, I'm going to die. I said, I know a little of chemistry. I know what is on the other side. I said, I am prepared to die. I said, listen to me. And my son, he wailed. I said, listen to me, son. I said, it takes a son to bury a father, not a father to bury us. My wife heard me, came into the room and she said, no, you're not going to have it. It's not going to happen. She said, it's not going to happen. I said, I cannot bury my son. I said, my son have to bury me. I say, and as I said to him, I said, son, you are only 11 years old. at that time. I said, I'm already 50. I mean, I exaggerated my age. I said, but I'm already 50. I said, I can die. I said, you don't worry about me. I said, but when I die, you will live. And I was prepared. I was honestly prepared. This was my religious moment. And I said, okay. My wife demanded. And I said, okay, I'm going to get the best lawyer in town. That was my exact words. One that cross all T's, dot all I's. I'm going to go and get him. And I left home that morning, called work and said, hey, I will be late, sorry, but I have something to do urgently. And I went into that lawyer office and explained the situation. And then the second court action started. Now, if you know the court, it's just a process.
It
And
takes
it's a
forever.
lengthy one.
Yes.
It's a lengthy one. Oftentimes you will go and the other paper will not be before the judge. That
Yeah.
happened 2 or 3 times. And the process just continues. In that time, I continued to visit physical planning, Ministry of Health. One day, physical planning said to me, there are questions being asked that I know the answer, not know the answer to. So you need to come in and have a meeting with us. We went in and he asked us, the move when the building was erected, whatever, that kind of conversation. Together with some other questions. He said, because we have decided to take the gentleman to court. I said, okay. He said, and the lawyer is asking these questions, so I need the answers to give for. And surely enough, they took him to court. I honestly don't know the outcome of it. What I do know is a stop order was issued. I went to Health and the Environment. And again, I know a stop order was issued. Now,
Right.
on that visit, I learned something very interesting that I did not know before. One young lady said to me, you are coming just as a woman that used to come here all the time. Now, I have heard the story again in physical planning before, and I, because I'm hearing it here and I'm hearing it there, I kind of inquired. I said, well, who is this person?
Right.
When she said to me, I said, yeah. I said, yeah, I know that person. Grenada is small. I said to her, I said, I visited that person in the capacity of a technician. I said, and surely enough, she had a dry cough. And I asked her, I said, why are you coughing like that? And she said to me, boy, I believe it's a workshop on the hill, but God is love. Surely enough, Junior, God is love. Because he took her home. And I said
She
to
died?
them,
She died?
She died. She died. She died. And I said to them, and not only that, he said to me, he said, there are strong evidence to suggest that her demise may be the contribution of that workshop. And I said to him, are you waiting for me or my family to die? He said, no, that is not going to happen. He said, no, that is not going to happen. He said, that is not going to happen. He said, this gentleman has a seat operation. You cannot have it there. Now, before government took him to court, the question was asked, because this gentleman's livelihood, as they put it, The question was asked, if there are anything that can be done to remedy the situation. And they look at it, and he said to me, because of the size of a building, because of the location and the aesthetic of the building, it is impossible to do anything to remedy the situation. So he gave me all assurance that a gentleman will have to cease operation.
I guess the long and short of it, did he cease operation as of today? As of now?
No. No.
Nothing happened. Nothing changed. Since operation,
No.
police come, lawyers, nothing stopped this man from doing what he was doing. That's
He
affecting you and your...
says nothing and nobody is going to stop him. And let me tell you something. One night, he started spraying. Now, once he starts operation, we will have to move. So I will take my son to my workplace. My wife will sit in the car with him. We'll go to the ministerial complex. We'll go to Ghanaian's beach. We'll go to relatives in Ghanaian's Calais. We'll go to Batway. We'll go to Grenville. We'll go to the mall and just sit and wait. One night, the gentleman spraying, finished spraying. And in the process, in the spraying, I called the police. The gentleman is spraying.
In the night, in the middle of the night. Well, in the night.
In the night. In the night. In the night. And they came. And I said to him, but I mean, why are you spraying? As usual, he said, nobody can stop me. So he said, okay, well, let's take a trip to the station. I brought him down, and they interviewed him.
Mm-hmm.
And after that day, the police called me, and he said to me, he said the gentleman would never stop. He said he listened, and he said, let me know on certain terms. If you want to stop me, arrest me. Because he knew there is no law in place.
There is no law that prevents him from doing what he's doing. That essentially is getting you sick. That essentially is getting people in the neighborhood sick, but nothing in law, legislation to stop him because he is
That's right.
operating his business.
That's right. It is his livelihood.
It's his livelihood in an area that was not designated to be a commercial area. He's affecting the lives of residents in that area. And that is effed up. Sorry, excuse my French.
This is how it is.
Listen,
this is how it is.
Did you get sick? Did your wife get sick at any point?
Junior, I had to bring my son every Wednesday, I believe 12:30, to see a asthma specialist. Everybody know him as Dr. Frederick. I can call his name.
Right.
And the very last he said to me, well, he's going to travel. And he said, listen to me. He said, you need to leave that place. I said, are you asking me to leave my home? He said, yeah. He said, go. He said, because you know what would happen? He said, you would get sick. He said, your wife would get sick. He said, go. He said, I have left my home. He said, you know what? Health is wealth. He said, leave. You need to go. I said, Doc, he said, this is my home. I said, I was even there before the gentleman. He looked at me, smiled in that lanky way of his, and he said, I am telling you, go. You know, he met me and he said to me, I heard that you eventually leave the place. And he laughed.
So
You know,
you had to leave your own home
I had
and
no choice. I had no choice. Absolutely no choice. My son got sick March 2020. We brought him to the hospital. And after that, he said to me, Daddy, I am not going back home. He said, I am not going back home. I said, Son, where would you go? He said, I'm going to Grandaunt's. He said, I'm not going back home. I have been there since. My lawyer have said to me, this gentleman continue. You say he's continuing. I say, yes. He said, but I'm not there. And he said to me, but if it's in violation, nobody would know. I said, well, my health comes first. I say, I'm not going to be anybody guinea pig. Because surely enough, when I visit, he has, as physical planning allude to in a report, he have seal all holes, stop all holes, just find the words, seal all crack and crevices, and basically, well, physical planning and health, that he is given a mandate to continue. So whenever he sees me, he would use me as a guinea pig. So when I go up, I will go up to either we did clean up, bathe my dog, okay, I left my dog there, and this would be his opportunity. And every time he does it, I lose my voice completely.
I want to play back this piece of clip because you sent me an audio clip, a quick audio clip right after he sprayed. Listen to this.
Today is the 4th day of October. I checked at my home in Manjalo. I detected the smell of paint after bathing my dog. I called my neighbor Michelle, who said to me that she was calling me before to alert me that she had been smelling paint. I left my home, walked onto the bottom of the road, walked behind Shaman Paint Workshop, found the doors on the bottom side open.
All right. So that clip that we just played right there, Ryan, why are you sounding like that? You
Every
lost.
time,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
every time, every time I ingest that paint, that is what happens. I visited work, and the first time my co-workers were, one of them start laughing. He said, "Well, what wrong with you? You swallow whatever. What?" And I say, no, girl. I say, if I go home and the gentleman have sprayed, I said, that's how I saw. And
Wow.
it became a regular occurrence. And she said to me one day, Ryan, he said, you need to tape this. And I said, yeah, that's a good idea. And I remember myself, my son, my wife, we had to vacate, went back to my workplace, and I was singing like that. And I called the minister. the Minister of Health. And he said to me, when I called him, he started to laugh because he said, "Who is this?" And I told him. He said, "Well, I thought somebody was putting a prank on me."
Wow.
And I said, "No, this is how I sound when I ingest paint fumes." I said, "This is how I sound." And I have quite a few of that recording, And on that occasion, the neighbor smelled the paint and she was calling me. But because I just finished bathing the dog and I left, I was sitting with it actually downstairs. And I honestly, I smelled it and I thought, nah, because the place is closed up. So I went down, I walked around, and I realized, well, everybody closed. There's nobody spraying nowhere else. And I just hooked my dog up, hooked it on the chain, and promptly left my home.
You
But when I
left.
get inside,
So you
I
you
left my
were
home.
forced to leave your home, the home that you built or the home that you bought, whichever. You had to leave your home to facilitate someone who is at the premises in close proximity to you that is inconveniencing the whole neighborhood. But you had to leave. You were the one that had to leave.
I had
That
to
is not
leave.
right. That is not right.
I had to leave.
That is not right.
And when I get inside, she called me and she said to me, "I was called to tell you that the gentleman is praying." And I said, "Yeah, I realized that." I went down the road and I realized that he was praying. I said, "But my phone was inside." She said, "Well, you need to leave the area. You need to go. You need to go. Here is that song already." And I just, jumped in my car and I left.
You left. So
Yeah.
you now have
I mean,
to
it's not the first time.
now rent a place, pay
Yes.
for a place to live.
As Dr. Frederick says, my health is my wealth. My
So
health is my wealth.
you rent a place that is someplace
Junior,
else that you're paying for
listen
and
to
have to leave
me.
your property.
When Dr. Frederick said to me, "Listen, man, you need to leave your home," honestly, it was unthinkable then. But when
Yeah,
you look at your son, your only son, fall to the floor on two occasions, unable to breathe, it's a
yeah,
hard thing. It is tough.
yeah.
It is tough. When he said to me, "Daddy, I'm not going back home," he said, "I am not." I honestly had to say to him, "Okay, son, we have to go. We must go." And that was from the 10th of March to present.
Ran, let me ask you this because this is important. I get very involved and um, personally involved with stories like this because I don't like to see stupidness. I don't like to see people being taken advantage of, and I don't like to see. I don't like bullshit. Plain and simple. Did you ever at any point go and talk to this man and try to ask this man to do the humane thing? Did you ever have a conversation with this man and tell me that you guys did have a conversation and he understood what was happening and he decided to do differently? What happened to the conversation? Did that happen?
My wife had a conversation with him on a Sunday. And the conversation started because at the time the gentleman would burn his debris, small pieces of wood, sawdust, whatever, in this galvanized enclosure. And my son is asthmatic. You know, well, I did not wait, period. I jump in my car and I say, "Son, let's go to the beach." My wife remained and she called the police Sunday. And the police asked her, "Ask the gentleman to out it." He said, we have no transport at this time. Ask the gentleman to out it. She, over the veranda, she said, and she called him out. She said to him, "Can you please out fire because the smoke affected my son. He's asthmatic. She said to me, he looked at her and he said, it's affecting you. And she said she thought genuinely he was going to out it. She said, yes. He said, I just have, my husband just have to leave with my son. And he said, it's affecting you. And she said, well, really and truly, well, I really believe that he was going to out it. And she said he just walked past and went in.
Wow. Wow.
She called back the police. And she said to the police, the gentleman refused. So the gentleman refused. He said, go across and tell him, ask him. He said, you want him to chop me up? So that was the end of the conversation.
Wow. Listen, I Joel said it best. A business that established in a residential area, he's saying that can be real. And people who suffer from asthma, people who don't even suffer from asthma because it's just not supposed to happen. That's why they have regulations in terms of where a business could go and where a business can operate. You can't take a business or something like that. It's not like it's an office space. People are living there. People will be affected. People are affected, and nothing has been done about it. That is not right. That is not right. You told me of an instance where you and the man almost went to blows.
Well, that is very recent. Now, I showed you a clip, essentially where I have erected a fence because all his clients is, he has accommodation. So once there's a few trucks with material for delivery, whatever, you will park on my side. So I have decided, you know what? Listen, I cannot facilitate this guy, and this guy is killing me. As a matter of fact, he will send them to park on my side. I have witnessed it. My wife has witnessed it. I have said to clients of his, friends of his, associates of his, hey, please, this is private property. Please don't park. One gentleman said to me, hey, man, 10 feet is government land. I said, wow. Started a queue. Started talk. Call the police. I said, listen, this guy have trespassed, whatever. I said, you know what, boy? I said, let me not go through this. So I erected a fence. Now, that, as usual, whenever you take an action, you have a reaction. And surely enough, the world started to show female companion, well, you will see, whatever. And that clip I showed you
I saw it, yeah.
is very recent. Very recent. His female companion raked debris from his side, and she ensured I have a plant, a flower tree, white flowers that caterpillar always eat.
Yeah.
She ensured that she raked, and then when she believed that the tree have concealed her, she just switched it over to my side. Now all the debris. And I said, this can happen. I said, this can happen. My first impulse was to just take the spade and just rake it back across. I said, you know what? This is going to bring a conflict. So I said, let me call police that is, well, when I wrote the letter, just keep in touch what is happening.
Right.
And I said to him, listen, this is what happened this morning. He said, no. He said, that can't happen. He said, why would she do something like that? I said, oh. She just did it. Nobody can tell her anything. He said to me one time, I don't know why they feel they're untouchable. He said, well, maybe because they have demonstrated it. So I said, well, this is my impulse, I am going to just rig that debris where it's come from. And he said, yeah. He said, you go right ahead. He said, she cannot do that. He said, you go right ahead. And I said to him, but that will provoke a reaction. And he said to me, well, it becomes a police matter. So I said, okay. I went down, clean up my dog, have a place at the back where I dump my dog's cat. And when I finished, early enough, took a little debris from my side and I rigged it across. The gentleman came out, had a blade in his hand, and he said to me, watch, I give one of my guys and glass and chopped it. I said, wow. I said to him, I said, listen to me, man. I said, you are sick. I said, take it easy, man. I said, I know you are sick. I said, take it easy. I said, you can fall anytime. I can fall before him, But I said, take it easy because I know that he's, And surely enough, he take the debris and rake it right across on my side. Went inside, I called the police. I said, listen, this is what has happened, as I told you. He said, well, really and truly, I'm in a Zoom meeting. Call the cannon station. And I did. Tell them what happened. And they said to me, well, take a report. They said, we'll have to come and give him a warning. But I prefer if you remain to do so.
You have superhuman patience, by the way. Superhuman patience. Because you went to the police numerous times, you went there, and you keep doing it over and nothing's changing. And I'm sure the viewers that's watching could already anticipate what the next part of it was and is and what the police did or didn't do. Nothing freaking changed about the situation right here. Now, listen, let's summarize this here. At present, Ryan, where do you reside? Have you moved back into your house? Did the gentleman leave the premises? Did anything change about the situation at present, as of today?
Absolutely nothing. As a matter of fact, I have said to my lawyer, the day I cannot find a place or have the money to rent a place, I prefer to live on the beach below a tent. I said to him, at least I'll breathe fresh air. He said, at least I'll breathe fresh air. I said, my son will be sick. Now, let me tell you, my son have relocated. And it is not the first time. It is not the first time. My son, in April 2017, I think, my son went to England. One of his cousins were getting married, and they invited him up because of all his struggle and so on. And my son didn't have to use a rag. My son did not have to use a puff. In a conversation with him, he said, Daddy, I don't want to come back home. He said, I'm going to miss you. He said, but I don't want to come back home. And surely enough, I contemplated it. Because if I had that power to keep him there, I would have done it. Right?
And I think that
he came to Granance
Yeah.
His aunt visited and he came to Ghanaians for the entire summer. Never had to use a rag, never have to puff. Today, we are in Ghanaians from March to present. My son never used a rag to say he's irritated, used the puff. They all took masks that we had to chew them. A matter of fact, Junior,
Mm-hmm.
when my son couldn't sleep, I invested in a
Nebulizer.
humidifier. A
Humidifier. Okay.
humidifier.
Mm-hmm.
I put that in his room. When I take him from school, I no longer drive the way. I will stop immediately at the back door. Let him go in, straighten it, turn on that humidifier, and that is where he would remain. The humidifier is sitting at Monjalo. He have
Right.
no need. He have no need for it.
Long story short, for Dad, it's obvious, very clear that the problem is the workshop that's affecting you, that's affecting your wife, that affected your
I'm
son,
not,
and that's affecting other people in the neighborhood. I want some action. I've heard a lot, and I think I've heard enough to.
I'm not hearing you. If you're hearing me, I'm not hearing you now.
Yeah, I'm hearing you fine. Go back out and come back in. Go back out and come back in. Um, guys, we're gonna this is obviously it's clear what happened here, guys. Ryan, go back out and come back in. Ryan, go back out
I
and
gotta
come
go
back
out
in.
and come back in.
Yeah, it's clear what's happening here, guys. It's evidently clear what's happening here. There are no regulations on the books, or probably there are regulations, as Andrea said, that is being overlooked. But this man is not stopping what he's doing, that is getting people in the freaking neighborhood sick, right? And it's a business that's not supposed to be in a residential neighborhood, and it's affecting people. Allegedly, someone died from previously that he said it. That could possibly be traced back to that particular workshop. What are they gonna wait for? For his son to dead? For he or his wife to die? Listen, that this is so crazy. I listen. This need to be fixed, right? This need to be fixed. I know that everything else is happening, COVID and everything else is happening, but this is a very, very, very important issue that need to be addressed right now. We're talking about lives. We're talking about people's lives at risk at this moment. This has to be fixed. This has to be addressed, and this has to be addressed now, right? What you know what we're gonna do? You know what we're gonna do? We are gonna post direct information, right? And we'll make some contacts as well. We'll make some contacts as well to the minister, and I know you're busy, minister, and I understand that you're very busy. To the people in all this position, I understand that a lot is happening right now, but this has to be addressed. This cannot continue to happen in the current contract. This cannot continue to happen. It's obvious. It is linked to his son and his entire family. This man is paying for a rent in Granance. Pay. Could you imagine? The man have a house. The man have a house. He had to leave his house. This is yo, Ryan. Listen, Ryan. Action from here. I've heard. We've heard. We understand what's happening. It's very clear. Physical planning know about it. The police know about it. Something has to be done about this. Something has to be done about this. This cannot continue. This cannot continue. And I think starting from tomorrow, some serious calls have to be made Because if they care about the people in the population, the people in that particular area, and the people in the area in Manjaloo, you guys should be concerned as well. If you have a family member that live in that area there, you guys should be concerned as well. Because you are getting sick and you don't know the long-term effect of it. You don't know the long-term effect of it, or the medium to long-term effect of this. You guys need to ensure that this get fixed, and this get fixed now. Done. Period. Nothing else. Point blank. Period. Done. Fix it. Ryan, I get it. I completely get it. I want to open up the phone line really quick. To get a few calls, because a lot of people watching.
you
A
hearing
lot of
me?
people. Yeah, I'm hearing you. Are you hearing me?
You're not hearing me.
You're not hearing me. All right. I'm hearing you. But I want to open up the phone lines real quick, guys. 718-701-5720. If you know about this business operation that's happening there, if you know anything about this,
No.
or even
Yeah, I'm
if
hearing you through a different medium.
okay, now you can't monitor me on the playback because it's a delay.
Say that again.
You cannot monitor me on a playback because it'll be a delay, so you won't hear me too well. So you have to monitor me here. That's how it will be conversational. You can't, if you're watching the broadcast, you won't be able to hear me in real time. There is a delay on the broadcast.
I can't hear you.
718-701-5720 is my number. I want you guys to call me up right now. 718-701-5720.
I'm not hearing you
And
at all.
let's talk. Ryan, go back out and come back in.
Why is it doing this?
Let's talk about this particular situation here. And for those of you who came in the midway of the program and you didn't get to see the whole thing, you have to go back and watch the whole thing because it's kind of long.
Yeah.
But you have to go back and watch
I
it
did that already though.
from the beginning. For Peter and people who are saying, well, why he have to potentially get violent? No, I hope it answer the question. But he didn't. He didn't get violent. This man is a family man who's very, very patient. Have more patience than probably the regular Joe, obviously. A lot of us would not have gone through this thing 10, 15 times over and over and getting the same outcome. Something needs to be done. Something needs to be done fast. Anybody have advice, call me up, 718-701-5720. Ring up the phone lines. Let's talk about this. 718-701-5720. Tiny! Yeah. People are frustrated, getting more frustrated. I miss if I could pull in Ryan one more time. Ryan, are you able to hear me? Ryan, are you able to hear me? All right, still not able to hear me. But we get the whole story. We get the whole story right here, guys. I'm gonna put the information, the exact location of the shop that is getting people sick in this neighborhood. Right? I'm gonna put all the information on the page. I'm gonna expose this location and the authorities who's supposed to be doing better. We're gonna expose everybody. Something needs to get done and something needs to be done quickly. Ryan, are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, but you're listening to me on another device and there is a delay, so you won't hear me in real time. But I understand what is happening here. I want you to talk to us, Ryan, really quickly about the next step, what you intend to do, and how could we help in advancing this, what more we could do or people that's watching could do to help assist in this situation right here. All right. All right, Ryan having audio problem, guys. Ryan having audio problems, and I understand. That's fine. That's fine, Ryan. I'll take it from here for you, right? Hi, guys. So listen, I'm gonna put all the information here. This is a big issue. This is a big problem. Ryan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Ryan, are you there? Yeah, I'm hearing you now. But we have to wrap,
Yes.
Ryan. We have to wrap. We have to wrap. But here's what I want you to close with. Here's what I want you to close with for me. Um, how could we? What do you need us to do from here to assist you and assist your family? Unmute yourself real quick. I see that you're muted.
Yeah.
Yeah. What could
Yeah,
we? What could we?
I I just need to go back to my home. I just need to go back to my home. I just need to breathe fresh air. You know,
Right.
I just need a clean.
Yes.
I have said to my wife, Manjalu is my Chernobyl.
Right.
I would only go there, right, to bathe the dog or do my cleanup. So this is my Chernobyl.
Right.
I cannot stay longer.
Right.
So that's
Right.
all I need. I just breathe fresh air.
You need to
That's
go
all
back
I
home.
need.
You need to go back home. It's your home. It's your home. Nobody should get you away from your home. It's your freaking home. God damn it.
I agree.
Okay, Ryan.
I agree.
Ryan, listen to what we're gonna do. We are gonna really expose this. Um, we are really gonna expose this location and force something to get done. We'll force something to get done. This cannot continue to happen. And I have friends in Monjaloo, by the way. I have friends in Monjaloo. And you guys probably have friends in Monjaloo too, or people in the surrounding areas. It's affecting them. Something has to be done, and something has to be done right now. I'm going to post the information. Ryan, say no more. We're going to take it from here. Thank you so much, Ryan, for sharing your story with us and alerting us of this, what's happening in your area right here. The goal is to get you back into your house. We're going to take it from here, Ryan. Thank you again for sharing with us, Ryan. We'll take it from here. Okay?
Thank you very
Keep,
much for having me.
keep all right, no
I
problem.
appreciate it.
Keep yourself and your family safe. Bye bye. Catch you later.
You gotta be
All right, guys. So listen, we got to do something, and we got to do something fast. This is becoming, this is going to, and it's already a big issue. All right, it's not going to become any bigger issue than this. People are getting sick because of what's happening there. Not one person, and if it's one, is a lot, but there's more than one person. There's actually a lady who died a few years ago, and allegation is because of this particular shop. What are they gonna wait for? More people to die before somebody? Nah, this is crazy. All right, guys. So we're gonna expose this location, and we're gonna force some actions to be taken on this. This is some serious issue. Guys, thank you for watching. And listen, when you watch this program here, this is not about just watching right along and just comment. We get things done. We get actions. We get things done. All right, that's what we do here. This is not about just watching and typing and talking crap. We're going to make something happen. And if you're in a position to make something happen, let us make something happen so this doesn't continue and people don't continue to get sick. All right, guys, we got to take it from here. We got news coming up right now. And we'll be right back with final closing words. Stand by.
That simple means say, nobody can hold me, man.
This is News Card, bringing you the latest breaking news of the day. The Grenada Ministry of Health held its first post-cabinet briefing for the year 2021. To explain and to give more detail on the first COVID-19 death on the island, Minister of Health Nicholas Steele spoke of the appointment of a new committee to re-examine the details surrounding the passing of the individual.
I did announce over the weekend that I have asked for a committee to the most recent death, and let me be quite clear on it and the reason and rationale for it. This is the first death that Grenada has had related to COVID-19. And as such, I think it is appropriate for us to have a team of individuals look into the entire circumstances, conditions, etc. This goes down on record as the first COVID-19 related death. And I think it's necessary for the team that has provided yeoman service for all of 2020 since this outbreak to avoid what many of us acknowledge as being an inevitability, to avoid as much as possible that inevitability, that they get the support from a team of their peers, as well as some legal support as there, to report back in terms of whether everything was done and confirming that all was done appropriately, to see where things could be strengthened, and to also have communication with the family. This would not be the first family that has to deal with COVID-19, nor the first Grenadian family that has to deal with a COVID-19 death, but it is the first Grenadian family to deal with a COVID-19 death in Grenada. And as such, I think it is appropriate to make sure that all of the levels as best as possible of support were there, are there, and continue to be there. Regrettably, we all must face the reality that this may not be the only death from COVID-19. I do hope so, that it may possibly be the only death that we have. But the only way that we can possibly get to a road of it being the only, or to continue to minimize the number of deaths we have, is to thoroughly look at the situation and circumstances surrounding this first death.
Throughout the briefing, the media pressed the minister, the CMO, and the former CMO to give more details on what could have possibly went wrong.
The gentleman who died, the COVID-related death, can you say whether the case, it was an imported case or an import-related case?
This case is being treated as an imported case. The gentleman fell sick within the incubation period of the disease. All right? He came in, he was in quarantine, he cleared quarantine, he developed symptoms within the incubation period, and he eventually succumbed to the illness.
In that case, can you explain why? As far as I understand, you said, and you just said he was cleared, meaning he got a PCR negative test. Can you explain what happened there?
All right. Sometimes we need to explain this carefully and repeatedly. The incubation period for COVID-19 is between 2 to 14 days. The system that we have, we test at day 4, which will capture the majority of the cases that are infected. All right? But it will not capture 100%. Remember, there are persons that are going to present late. All right? As likely occurred in this setting. The individuals still continue to be within the incubation period, or the individual was within the incubation period when he fell sick. This is why our quarantine requirements are 14 days. Persons are released from the facility after they get a negative test, which is done on the 4th day. But it does not mean that they're completely out of the woods. They have to continue to observe the preventive measures up to the 14th day because they can present on day 14.
Earlier in the week, family member of the deceased took to social media blasting the process that released the 72-year-old with a negative COVID test, when in fact he was exhibiting possible symptoms. Speaking to a member of the family last evening, we were told that the man was sent to Maribor Hospital and was subsequently released. He died just a day or so later. One of the most vocal family members posted on social media in full remembrance of her father, stating, "He was known throughout the island of Grenada, especially St. Andrews area, having worked 30 years at Nawasa, St. Andrews. He was such a humble soul, and in memory of his 3rd night, due to the coronavirus, we are unable to do things normally. We, the family, are kindly asking friends and family near and far at 7 p.m. tonight to join with us as we light candles. Ridealong sends out our condolences to the family on this very difficult time." The minister also announced the state protocol in dealing with COVID-19 deaths on the island.
With respect to a COVID-19 related death, the procedure is, the protocol is cremation.
This is News Card, bringing you the latest breaking news of the day. Hotel mogul Butch Stewart has died in the United States. Stewart was the founder of Sandals Resort, Beaches Resort, and the parent company Sandals Resort International.
as well as the ATL Group and the Jamaica Gleaner. He died on Monday in the United States at the age of 79. Prime Minister Andrew Holness had said that he's saddened by his passing. Butch, a recipient of the Order of Jamaica and the commander of the Order of Distinction, Stewart was born on July 6, 1941.
A magnitude 4.5 earthquake was recorded in Antigua. This comes within 48 hours of a magnitude 3.3 earthquake that was recorded off the island of Dominica. The Antigua official reported that the earthquake occurred 43 kilometers northeast of Clarendon, Antigua and Barbuda. The quake hit at a shallow depth of 22 kilometers below the epicenter at about 3:39 a.m. this morning, January 5, 2020. Based on preliminary data, the quake did not cause any significant damage. This is the latest breaking news for the hour. Stay tuned for more news weekdays 8 p.m. and again at 4 p.m. daily. The news is a production of Ridealong Media. See you tomorrow.
Hey, how do you spell appreciation?
Let's see, I think it's A-P-P-R.
Wait a minute, hold up.
We spell appreciation with a capital C.
For cold, hard cash. Ladies and gentlemen, we say thank you for playing Waggity Virtual Bingo. And on Sunday, January 10th, 2021 from 6 p.m., it's appreciation time. Imagine you can win US $10,000. And hear this, tickets cost only $5. That's right, only $5 per ticket. That's how we show our appreciation. In Grenada, tickets are available at gotofet.com or numerous box offices island-wide.
If you're overseas,
Tickets are only available at gotofet.com. So, what are you waiting for? Join the fun and excitement online.
play Waggity Virtual Bingo.
The new way to play bingo.
From our family to yours, Happy New Year.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You gotta be firm in this time, son.
Again, guys,
You gotta be strong in this time.
thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of our programming today. Again, it's all about action, not just words. We're going to work with Ryan to enforcement to make sure that things change in his situation. It's not supposed to be taken away from his house, thrown out of his house, where you have a business operating like illegally in a residential area where it's not supposed to be in the first place. So we're going to work with Ryan to make sure. We're also going to post some information on Ridealong page that would help identify the people that live in that area and what actions that they could do to make sure that this does not continue to happen. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for being a part of our program. Thanks for sharing so much. Catch me again tomorrow. Happy New Year, by the way. Also, got to say that Ride Along Live is brought to you by Riders Headphones. Get your Riders Headphone at riderssong.com. That's riderssong.com. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch me tomorrow. Bye-bye.
I'm a kind of fella. Put my trust in God. Put my trust in God. That simple means nobody can hold me, man. Nobody can drain my energy. Nobody can control me sick. I will not allow negativity. Nobody can hold me, man. Nobody can drain my energy. Nobody can. Yo, just show me some strength. No weakness. Show me a lion.
You're constantly thinking of food, but sometimes you just don't want to cook or want something a little different. That's when you call Tasties, preparing meals that you really love. Tasties, our mouth-watering food, would have you coming back every day. But hold on, we only prepare meals Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for now. Call early because we have a lot to serve and we would love to serve you. Tasties, we prepare the meals you love to eat. From macaroni pie to baked chicken, provision dumpling and saltfish, stewed chicken, curry chicken, baked chicken, rice and peas, salads, and more. Please call for daily menu. Call 425-0624 or 403-0411. You can pick up your meals from us or we deliver it to you. Tasties, food that's delicious.